Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Yes. Paul McCartney. They're like, hey, you're in the Beatles. Will you write a Christmas song? We can just print money with it later. And that's what they did. One of the most annoying songs in the history of Christmas, and yet Sir Paul McCartney lives on as a legend. Well, okay, Napolis, defend this song. It's terrible. Gosh.
Don't kill his holiday joy, Alex.
Yeah, so is Wham's Last Christmas. But technically it is a fun song.
You'll take the Beatles or you take Mariah Carey?
Yeah. Mariah Carey, 100%. When I worked at Champ Sports in the mall in the late 90s,
yeah,
we used to have to put we had to put the VHS tape in the VCR in the back, and it would play on the TVs up in the front, right? And for Christmas, we had the ones, we had they were running basically music videos of, whatever Champ's corporate put together. And Mariah Carey's song kind of just had come out maybe two years before that. And my buddies and I, one of the guys would just hang out in the back, and he would press rewind, and we would just watch that video over and over again for that Mariah Carey song. It was awesome. Remember the VCR?
Oh, I remember
Could
the
you
VCR?
operate a VCR? I don't know if a lot of our techs here could operate a VCR if it was put in front of them. Oh, sorry, Brant could.
Yeah,
these guys.
These guys are Be Kind Rewind.
Be Kind Rewind. That's those guys, dude.
These guys look like Blockbuster.
I remember he's like, man, you push the thing down, and you hear that signature noise that it's eating the tape. You're like, no.
Oh,
it's terrible.
That was
all right.
my Ace Ventura tape. I remember that.
I'm trying to wrap my brain around the Pop-Tart Bowl and get excited about it. I wonder what the level of excitement is going to be for this Georgia Tech team, for this BYU team. It's always a crapshoot when it comes to it because, and I'm not trying to question whether or not these guys want to play in this game. I'm not trying to question, their preparation. I'm not trying to question whether or not they take things seriously or they take their opponent seriously. But I think that there is a little bit of hey, this is a different bowl than we probably should have been playing in, or a different game than we probably should have been playing in. Even if that's not the case, even if you just feel a little bit slighted if you're BYU. And Georgia Tech, who was on that trajectory all season long, and they had a rough 3 out of their last 4 games. And I like this Georgia Tech team. I like Haynes King. I think that guy has been maybe the best quarterback in Georgia Tech history because he's able to do more than just be a runner, although he is the leading rusher on the Georgia Tech team. And I just wonder if you get ready for the Pop-Tarts Bowl and you play your butt off, a guy like him, he's trying to figure out a place for himself in the league. He's going to go play in the East-West Shrine game. I don't know if there is a place for him in the league, but as you watch these teams prepare for this, prepping for the Pop-Tart Bowl, is BYU 100% in it in their head? Should they? I know they should be, but it's one thing to say it, it's another to try to be it.
I mean, it's Pop-Tarts going to be on the mind, right? I mean, I love Pop-Tarts just as much as the next person.
Is this the premier bowl that's not a
It's got to be fun, right?
Yeah.
There's bowl games that are just like, this is the funnest one to be at, and I think the presentation that the Pop-Tarts Bowl puts on makes it amazing. I don't imagine what's going on throughout the week, but just the game time presentation is absolutely terrific.
No, during the week, it's just as good. I think that it's marketing genius by these guys.
Yes.
The trophy with a working toaster is maybe the coolest thing I've ever seen. I mean, but that's the kind of stuff. I was just wondering if this has to be one of the premier bowls.
Trophy room.
Not just the bowl itself that features two. It's because the two opponents both ranked, both kind of a chip on their shoulder for what happened during the season, and I think it's a big deal to be able to.
Yeah, for my thing is, I think Georgia Tech is definitely into this, right? I mean, if they go, what did they go last year? They went 7-6 last year and ordered rings. Remember the ring ceremony from last year?
Oh, I love it.
They went 5-0 at home, but
it was the undefeated at home ring. Yeah,
and they got rings.
It's ringing a bell now.
And now they have a 9-3 season. I think that they're excited and they're anxious to be here. It's not far from home, so a lot of families going to be able to go to this game, and so it'll be just like a backyard home game for them. And
I think Brent Key is. I mean, there are a lot of similarities. Kalani playing for his alma mater, Brent Key playing for his alma, and just tough nosed, guys who are no nonsense and. I love that matchup.
I think this is going to be a game of who has the better younger guys.
This portion of the show brought to you by Doug Smith Dealerships in American Fork, Spanish Fork, and in Linden. Nobody knows cars like Doug. Let's jump into the cut right here, top of the 4 o'clock hour. Let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Kelly Quinlan covers Georgia Tech, and it's been an awesome year for the Yellow Jackets, and Jackets Online with Rivals and On 3. And, Kelly, it's been a fun one for us to watch from a distance. I watched a couple of Tech's games this year, and Haynes King is no joke. He's about as good of an athlete you can have under center. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks, guys, for having me.
When you watch what Haynes King has done at quarterback, where does he kind of sit in the pantheon of good quarterbacks in the history of Georgia Tech?
You know, he's probably in the top 4 or 5 of the modern era of college football. Joe Hamilton, who is Brent Key's quarterback, actually, you talked about him playing at Tech earlier. Justin Thomas, who was the guy that took them to the Orange Bowl. Josh Nesbitt, who won an ACC championship, took them to an Orange Bowl. Sean Jones, who won a national championship in '90. Those are sort of the other guys that are in that conversation, I think, right now. And Haynes had a chance here. They just didn't play well in November at times and kind of cost themselves a playoff spot, not dissimilar to BYU, where they ran into a couple of tough games here at the wrong time and didn't make the playoffs. But as you guys were talking about, I do think this is the premier non-playoff game, basically, for everyone to watch in college football this year, with these two teams who would probably be in a 16-team playoff or be real close to it.
Yeah, what are you kind of expecting out of the team? What has been kind of the atmosphere around the team of getting into this bowl game? I know Alex and I were just mentioning the success of last year, and now you jump that up to a 9-3 season this year, as you said, not so great November. But what has the team's kind of motivation and energy been around getting ready for this bowl game?
I think everybody's frustrated. They had kind of everything right in the palm of their hand there and just didn't get it done in a couple of games. And all the losses were real close. Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator, left to go to Florida. Mm-hmm. Your backup quarterback goes in the portal, who was supposed to be the starter next year. So that's been a little funky, but I think everybody's just kind of focused on trying to win the 10th game, get Haynes King that last win. He was the ACC Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and All-Around Player of the Year. So, there's a lot riding on this. Haynes kind of his warrior mentality, I think, is rubbed off on a lot of the team and the fan base, too. And they love, how tough he is. And, at the end of the day, it's a tough matchup. That's going to be what's interesting about this game. And a fun matchup, too. I think it's going to be very different than the last couple times BYU played Georgia Tech when they were running the option with Paul Johnson.
It's interesting, yeah, and I was covering that team back when Bronco Mendenhall was the head coach, and he had just a knack of trying to getting after. He had a knack for kind of covering up that type of an offense, but I think things have changed a little bit. They have added enough wrinkles that the tough nose stuff. But Brent Key knows what Georgia Tech football is, of course, but. What is it like having him at the helm? What kind of a team kind of identity, even with the stuff that goes up and down? If you have a culture and an identity, that culture and identity stays even if an offensive coordinator leaves and some big players go to the transfer portal. What has he meant to coming back and coaching his alma mater?
The thing with Brent is he's an offensive lineman. He was, a 4-year starter here, and he brings that mentality. There are 14 offensive linemen on the staff right now, something like that, in various capacity roles. It comes from the top down and from the strength coaches all the way to people who work as analysts or in the office. They believe in his vision for this program and what it can be, and he's done a great job of selling it. They've done a great job of embracing it. They've had really good crowds at the back end of the season, great environments. And the big thing is he's gotten people to invest money, too. They have one of the stronger collective groups in the ACC and probably in the top 20 in college football now. And that's a credit to Brent Key and what he's done and kind of developing that and trying to bring Georgia Tech to being back to a top 25 program perennially. And this was the first step towards it. This isn't the end goal, but trying to get that 10th win, making sure you stay in the top 25, all that stuff I think is really important to him. And I'm sure with BYU, not getting in the playoffs and your 2 losses being what they are, I think that's going to play big into this as well. I think they're going to be fired up as well.
Yeah, Kalani Sitake gets his guys, I think, revved up for games. Even if there is disappointment to end the season, they look at it like, hey, they're having a pretty historic run, a couple of seasons in a row of winning 11 games, and that type of performance in the Big 12 is not something that happens every year, but they've done it the last 2. What is the attitude about BYU as an opponent? Georgia Tech, of course, comes in. They're ranked 22nd. BYU's 12th. But you see the Cougars across on that paper. Were they pumped to be able to play that game, or what's the attitude surrounding playing the Cougs?
Yeah, it depends on who you ask. I think some fans were maybe hoping for Missouri because I think a lot of people kind of scoped out what was going to happen there. Their quarterback was going to leave. Originally, Georgia Tech was supposed to go to the Gator Bowl, and Notre Dame was going to play BYU in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. That was once the playoff seedings got out. And so from that point on, it was, I think people are excited. I think they're a little more nervous about this game than they would have been playing Missouri, just because I think they see BYU as being a really tough opponent. Obviously, quarterback Bear's a heck of an athlete, and people are very excited to kind of see how this team measured up. And, the big thing, too, is the last 2 times they played, BYU just really kind of physically dominated Georgia Tech, the line of scrimmage. I feel like this would be a much better kind of litmus test to see how much they've improved on that front in terms of being able to more physically match up with what BYU is doing with a totally different offense and a different coaching staff now at Georgia Tech.
What has the last few years been as far as this program's transcending into this new upper echelon of being dominant in the ACC and now vying for college football playoff positions? Where is this program going? What have they all experienced from the years after Paul Johnson and now changing here to Brent Key, and where do they expect this program to go even after Haynes King leaves?
So they had Jeff Collins. He was the king of the hashtags, and the students towards the end started calling it the hashtag, Adidas's three-stripe life. They started calling it the hashtag 3-win life because they won 3 games 3 years in a row with Jeff. And, and it was a program that had been to a bowl game I think it was 24 out of 25 years or something like that. So this is much more along the lines of expectations. I think they're still kind of getting where they need to get to. Obviously, every year they play Georgia. That's a juggernaut that they have to deal with. But I think in the ACC, they're as good as anybody right now in the league. And maybe it says more about the ACC than anything else at the moment. But they're getting to where they need to get to. And it's getting back to where it was when I first started covering the program 15, 16 years ago when they were in the hunt every year. And I think that's the expectation. They're not expecting the team to be, turn into Ohio State or something, but I think the expectations are that they should be a proud program that can win 10 games, 9 games a year. And, I think they're starting to get there with Brent, and Brent's vision for it is much more akin to Ohio State. He thinks he can get the program to that level, turn down jobs at Florida, Auburn, and other places this offseason to stay at Georgia Tech. So, I think that they're still kind of getting the program together. It's not quite there yet, but I think they're making steps in the right direction. And this game's a big opportunity to maybe further move that along, that narrative of their growth if they can win or play a good game at least.
You cover a lot of ACC, obviously, and the bickering back and forth that happened after everything with Notre Dame. And then I think you guys deal with a lot of what we covering the Big 12 have to deal with, which is just kind of this cast aside moment. Everybody gets cast aside for the Big 10 and the SEC. How is the ACC handling it, do you think? And what's like the next move to be able to figure out how they can move forward and get taken seriously? Because I know that's something that Brett Yormark of the Big 12 is trying to figure out too. The ACC just is like this. It feels very similar to the Big 12 in terms of how people look at it and getting tossed aside for the big guys.
I think what you have to do is win, and you've got to win in these playoff games, and that changes the narrative of things. Texas Tech has a great opportunity right now. Miami has an opportunity. go in there, win some games, upset some of these teams, the SEC, Big Ten teams. And once you do that and start to get that momentum going, I think it can quell some of the narrative. A lot of it's driven by ESPN and the media people and stuff as well. But, I mean, is Ole Miss a better team than BYU? That's an interesting question, right? And that's where if the Big 12, BYU, Georgia Tec, the ACC, those teams start winning these games and these crossover opportunities or in the playoffs, that can change that narrative quite a bit, because I think that's what's killing everybody right now. I mean, if you look at it, what is it? Colorado, Georgia Tech, and BYU, I think, have the only national championships outside of those two conferences over the last, 40-something years. That's not great either. So there's work to be done. I'm leaving out Clemson and Florida State, but and Miami, but just talking about just the brands in college football, and I think that's going to be something that has to be addressed on the football field. You got to win some of these games now. Georgia Tech has to beat Georgia. You can't just beat up on each other. Georgia Tech beating Colorado, they don't get credit for, right?
Yeah.
If BYU beats Georgia Tech in this bowl game, that's not necessarily going to give them some sort of street cred in these things. I think it's Texas Tech's got to handle their business. Miami's got to handle their business in the playoffs. And if you start to have that happen, that changes that narrative, in my opinion. What's
the vibe around Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC, and what he's doing to make sure that they are on the map, so to speak? And what will the relationship of Notre Dame, do you think, look like in the future with the ACC?
I think Notre Dame's stuck because no one else is going to make that deal with them that matters. And everyone going to 9-game schedule makes it that much harder. They want to crow that they can do X, Y, or Z, but the reality is no one's going to schedule them in November. Who are you going to play, UMass and UConn? That's what you're going to get, a bunch of games like that in November if you don't have the scheduling agreement. So they're trapped. They want their independence. This is the only way it's going to work. So they got to calm down, and it made them look terrible to do that and act like that. And at some point, they may have to join a conference. It's a tough decision. Obviously, BYU went through all of that many years ago. You have to make those decisions at some point. Georgia Tech was an independent at one point. People have to do what's in their best interest. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in Notre Dame if they continue to have scheduling problems or get left out of the playoffs. What does that look like? So I think they need the ACC more than they realize, and I think that's starting to come to light because the reality is they're closer to the ACC or the Big Ten than, say, if they had to try to make the same kind of agreement with the Big 12. That just their fans wouldn't stand for it because they wouldn't want to go on such long road trips and things like that.
Yeah, man, I agree. One, you got to win for both the ACC and the Big 12 in Tech in Miami, and then at Notre Dame, man, they did look like little temper tantrum kids, especially AD. He's not right during Christmas. He's on the naughty list. But who else? Before this game kicks off here next weekend, who else should we be looking out for as far as BYU fans and others watching on this football team, from Eric Rivers at the receivers to Kyle Eifert on defense? Who are some of these other guys we need to look out for and why?
The big playmakers on offense, aside from those guys you mentioned, Malachi Hosley, the running back, he's been really good for them. He was banged up in the back end of the season. That kind of hurt him. I think he's getting healthy now. Isaiah Canyon's a big play wide receiver. Malik Rutherford in the slots, a big play guy for them. And then on the defensive side, Jordan Vandenberg has been excellent for them, the defensive tackle. They've been very rough on defense. October, November were really rough for them. They got together in the Georgia game. Amari Harvey at corner is really good. They have some nice pieces. One of their best defensive players, Jai Gilmore, is out for the year. He got hurt in Boston College, maybe. I forget what game it was, but he's out for the season now. So they've taken some shots. They've had a lot of guys injured on the defensive side of the ball, and that's impacted that, particularly the loss at NC State. They were down 5 guys in their main rotation on defense, and 4 of them were starters in that game.
Kelly Quinlan covers Georgia Tech with Jackets Online, part of Rivals and On3. Kelly, thanks for the breakdown, man. We're looking forward to the Pop-Tarts Bowl next week, and it should be a fun one. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Thank you.
There you go. It's a fascinating matchup. I just want to know who's going to actually, if they care to be there. You'll be able to tell.
You could definitely tell,
Yeah.
and I agree with them. I mean, it's like nobody's going to get real street cred whether they win here or not.
That's
right?
a bummer.
That was a very accurate statement.
It is true. It's 100% true.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not a college football playoff matchup, people kind of go, yeah, all right, well, then who'd you beat? Okay.
Good for you.
I forgot who you guys beat in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Who was it? Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Right.
We'll take another break. It's all brought to you by also the folks at Performance Automotive in Bountiful. That's Performance Automotive in Bountiful. We'll come right back. We got more to go. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone, on the road today at the Road Home, the Connie Crosby Family Resource Center right here in Midvale. One of the great pieces in our community of not just charitable giving, but the volunteer work that comes that shows up for this type of stuff, and of course the donations that are made to help the Road Home this time of year with our holiday mediathon. All the radio stations get into this one tent, and we all ask you for the same thing, and that is to help the people who are in need this time of year and all year long by giving them a call, 801-819-7300. That's 801-819-7300. Make that donation. It's going to get matched all hour long by the folks at the Huntsman Family Foundation. Hey, also want to remind you, speaking of people who need kudos, nominate the Youth Sports Volunteer for the Hercules Hero of the Week Award. All you have to do is go to KSLSports.com/contest and get yourself a nomination into the box there, and every Thursday we choose one of those winners, and we're able to celebrate the efforts of those people who do an awesome job in their community. So there you go. You just go to KSLSports.com/contest. It's all brought to you by Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals, both of whom are sponsors of the program. Well, the inevitable happened, Annapolis. We have to talk about it. So I'm going to make you throw your headset on, and I'm going to make you participate in this NFL Blitz. Initial thoughts. I just want to get the raw Rams fan thoughts after last night's blowout loss to the Seahawks.
MVP.
Oh,
Said blowout.
No, I'm making you do it. You got to talk about this. Where were you guys at? Where was your head at on this one? What went wrong? And if you just lean on the referee stuff and go full Puka Nacua on us, I don't think that's just it. There was a lot of bad defense being played by the Rams in the second half too, man.
I think that there was probably a little bit of a sense of maybe we have this one in the bag after they were up by. Oh, what was the score, man? I can't remember.
30 to 15.
It was 30 to 15. 30 to 15. They probably think it's in the bag, and then from there, things just kind of fall apart.
Well, what was the part? What was the part where the entire Seahawks team gets lit up with excitement? It's that Rashid Shaheed punt return that almost looked like, I'm going to be honest, it didn't look like the Rams punt coverage team was trying at all on that. Well, number one, that's what Rashid Shaheed does to people. He makes them look foolish because of how fast he is. But that lit him up. I mean, that entire thing, that type of a play, Sly, can absolutely ignite a sideline. That return punt by Rashid Shaheed, it made the total difference because after that, then they go, oh, and they get the 2-point conversion, and then they go, oh, we're one score away on this. And then suddenly the defense starts making stops that they never made all night. I just think that one play was so big by Rashid Shaheed, and I love that play lit up that sideline. And I'll tell you, too, the NFC West. Now, Annapolis, you and I can jam on this together, though, because the 49ers fans who came out of the woodwork and go, thank you, Seahawks. Now all we have to do is win our last 3 games, and we're going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs. I think we can all get together and hate on it.
Special teams is so important on so many things for that one thing right there, that inflection points. And we know how electrifying Rashid Shaheed is, and why I think he was such a valuable free agent before the trade deadline. Right?
Can you believe they picked him up?
Oh, it's great. Anybody who's actually paying attention to what matters in football games and what could be a huge asset, which I don't even believe the Seahawks gave up a lot for him in that trade. He's just been highly productive for Seattle ever since he even got there. So he's on a playoff team and definitely looking for good production here in the postseason.
Napolis, are you with your head coach on that 2-point conversion being a fraud?
I'm not. I might be a little bit biased on this, but I was not a fan of the call. I was not a fan. They claimed that the whistles were blown. Everybody thought the play was dead. Nobody went towards the ball. Interesting decision to come back after the TV break, no less,
weird.
to come back and review everything.
I will admit it was super weird because I was like, oh, well, they got some work to do, 30-28. Okay, I'll figure it out. I come back and they're all, after review, the 2-point conversion is good. I'm like, okay. Cool. All I thought to myself was, this is fun. This is a fun ball game. And honestly, to go to overtime, to have the Rams go down and score. By the way, the overtime rules are so much better now.
With both teams getting an opportunity.
Yes, the one time going down the field, and even because it used to be also if you scored a
sudden death, man.
You kick the field goal, it's over.
Yeah,
and then they go, no, we got
to win the coin toss, and somebody's like, oh,
I know, and then they go, well, if you score a touchdown, then you win. But if you only get the field goal, then the ball goes to the other team. Yeah. I'm like, that's dumb too. So when they do it to where they go, hey, you score a touchdown, the other team gets the ball, and they can at least match it. And if they do,
it's a full 15 minutes though.
But going for 2. And getting it at the end there, I just thought that's an epic matchup. I hope what's tough about this is these two teams are probably the best in the NFC right now. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford should be the MVP. That guy is so good.
Right.
And
been for so long.
Puka Nacua, you said it in our group text too. Sly, you're all. Yeah, totally distracted. 225 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, 2 tutties. I mean, and you know what? That second touchdown, I've never what was he walked into the end zone there. There's going to be one guy you need to cover on this thing.
You look at all the other receivers. How many catches did they have? Even targets. We didn't even go targets.
Yeah.
The one other guy had 3 catches. He had 12. Matthew Stafford wasn't throwing to nobody else but Puka Nacua. The highest guy next had 50 yards.
There was a stretch in the second and third quarter where he wasn't even targeted at all. But part of it was because they were having such success running the ball. Yeah. They were just moving it down the field at will. They didn't care, and so it was a fun game to watch. I don't know. People are calling it an instant classic. I think Rams fans would disagree, but hey, that's what makes it an instant classic.
It's only an instant classic if you win.
Listen, the Thursday night game is delivered.
Oh, for sure.
This year a couple of times, and that was the best Thursday night game. Even if Al Michaels was talking like he was asleep on some of these touchdown calls, it was still a really, really good game. Travis Kelce says he's going to play in the Chiefs' final 3 games. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Why wouldn't he? I thought this was supposed to be his last year.
But also, I don't know why you have to say it out loud. Are you going to take the time off just because your quarterback is out and you're and you're out of the playoffs?
Honestly, he might have to say that. People are all he's Swiftied all out right now. He's not focused.
I am going to play.
And so he might have to say. He shouldn't have to have said that, but I don't really know what the Chiefs message boards are like. We have to go ask Russ over here. What the Chiefs message boards are like. He's probably saying it.
No, you can't. No. He's in a dark place right now.
Oh, I know. I saw him when I came in.
You can't bring up the Chiefs around him.
He's like, hey, I'll see you outside. It won't be me, but I'll see you outside.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Chiefs fans right now,
they're hurt,
despondent, but it's fine. They've gone through it. T.J. Watt's collapsed long. I'm confused on all this.
That's wild. Yeah.
I don't know what the treatment is. I don't know what dry needling. First of all, if a trainer came up to me and said, "We've got a new thing that we're trying. It's called dry needling." Now your lung may collapse.
They've been doing dry needling for a while.
I just don't know what it is. What is dry needling? I don't get it. And how did his lung collapse? And by the way, why is this practice still used now if one of the players ends up – and he said, I'm not afraid of the dry needling. It helps me a ton with the pain and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it is, but T.J. Watt's not going to be playing in the game. He had to have surgery to be able to correct it, and I just think it's a weird thing. I don't know if the league needs to take an extra look at that, but I don't know.
I mean, what is the league going to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's his deal.
Hey, Puka Nacua. The fine did come down, $25,000 for the comments on the refs. He might get an extra $25 for the tweet that he sent out that he immediately deleted.
And once it's out there, buddy,
he's like, "What? Was I wrong?" And you know what? He may have had a little bit of a point. At least Rams fans would have felt that way. But man,
who's trying to get on TV?
The amount of the only beef that I have with that commentary is typically the guy who throws the PI flag isn't the guy who's calling it on TV. Like, he's not the one who goes, I threw the flag, and they don't let you, if you called the penalty, you get to get on TV and make the call. So it's a little bit weird. But then you add into the mix that, the way that the game broke for Seattle at the end, everybody looks at this like, this is why. I have a friend growing up who was insistent that the NFL was a mafia-run deal, and it's fake. It's all just orchestrated. And this did not help the tinfoil hat people last night after it was all. I'm telling you, the conspiracy guys, they came out of the woodwork last night, Annapolis was probably one of them too. I don't know, so we'll see. They're 12-3. Rams are 11-4. The 49ers are 10-4. So if they can get a win this weekend, there's no way that the 49ers beat the Rams. I bet the Rams absolutely put it on these dudes. So, all right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We're at the road home. This hour, everything brought to you or matched this hour by the Huntsman Family Foundation, matching dollar for dollar up to $1 million all day long. So get your donation matched by the Huntsman Family Foundation right now. Also want to say thanks to Modern Display, who are also a big part of this and one of the great sponsors. But 801-819-7300 to get that dollar matched here. And it all goes to help those at the Road Home. It helps the Road Home keep their mission alive all year long. 801-819-7300. We'll come back. It's all brought to you also by the folks at Performance Automotive in Bountiful. We'll take a break. 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Now we're talking. Christmas music, Annapolis.
Why are you not singing it?
Oh, I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Hey,
we might be on a
You are the karaoke king.
I know. We're also out of the studio.
What?
Even if there's like a half a second delay, then it just sounds weird. And I'm not going to do it. You're right, though. I am the best singer at Broadcast House. No problem.
You could take that
It's
title.
not a big deal.
It's not a title I'll fight for.
I did see Alex Boye in the building this week, though. So if he's in the building, then I'm not the best singer in the building. All right. Let me see here. Welcome back. We're at the road home. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Sly sitting in for JJ today, and we're doing a good cause thing today. Now, our show isn't a good cause every day, but today it is, and we lean on the folks from the Road Home who help this community so much. You can make your donation now. It gets matched by the Huntsman Family Foundation, 801-819-7300. That's 801-819-7300. Okay, Sly. I was trying to figure out earlier what this was going to look like because I didn't know if it was actually going to work, but I was looking for a top 10, and I found it, and I wanted to ask you your thoughts on this one. Out of the teams that are in the playoff, okay?
College football.
College football here.
Well, the Chiefs lost, so, they're not in the playoffs anymore.
Yeah, well, but it's not just – so I have in front of me the bowls and their logos, but I'm not going to ask you about the logos. I'm going to ask you by popularity the most popular bowl games across the history of bowl games. So you're going to have to give me the bowl games of your which one are, and now obviously you have to think about the big ones, but you got to think about the other ones. This is by ratings all time.
Of like who watches these games?
Yeah, so so obviously people tune in because maybe it has the better matchups.
This is all bowl games, not just New Year's 6.
Not just New Year's 6. So you got to get those, and you got to get the rest of the 4 as well. So, so on your mark, get set, go.
Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl,
got it.
Holiday Bowl. Why am I missing these? I said Rose Bowl. I said Cotton Bowl.
You have 5 of the 6. I have 5 of the 6.
What is the other freaking bowl? Okay, just bowl games. Popular, not Pop-Tarts. Bowl games. Music City. What's a good one? Bowl games. Fiesta Bowl. Oh, that's
Yeah, there you go.
Fiesta
Ding.
Bowl. Let's go Emerald Bowl.
The Emerald Nut Bowl? No.
Poinciana Bowl, Vegas Bowl. Let's go. What is Arizona's bowl game used to be? Let's go El Paso Sun Bowl.
The Sun Bowl?
Sun Bowl.
Eh.
Let's see here. What is Cornhusker Bowl? What is
time.
Yeah, that's terrible.
The Cornhusker Bowl. Okay, so the other 4, you'll kick yourself a little bit. So the Citrus Bowl.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I used to get that mixed up with the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, no, I know.
I used to.
I know, because my father-in-law played in the Tangerine Bowl. I know. That became the Citrus Bowl.
Right.
Because they were like, look, we're competing. You can't say
Peach Bowl. I didn't say Peach Bowl.
You didn't say the Peach Bowl.
Gosh, dang it.
So the Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
The Gator Bowl. The Citrus Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one was, oh my gosh, where did it go? And the last one is... No, I'm missing it now.
Wow.
Well, number 9. We're only going to be able to do 9.
Oh, what's the Sarsaparilla Bowl?
No, it's not the Sarsaparilla. The Sarsaparilla Bowl. No, absolutely not. We said the Outback Bowl. Well, anyway,
we
9
didn't
out
say
of 10.
the Outback Bowl.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Why is all these Florida games the most popular one?
Because the weather's nice, and a lot of teams want to play down there, and a lot of good teams end up playing on TV with those. So those are the highest rated in the history of the.
Phooey.
Number 1, of course, is the Rose Bowl, the most desired bowl game to watch.
Granddaddy of them all.
It is a spectacular. I'm going to give that phone number out again. All your dollars are matched today by the Huntsman Family Foundation, and a big extra thanks also to the folks at Modern Display this hour who have helped us out as well. I'm going to give that phone number out, 801-819-7300. That's 801-819-7300, or go to theroadhome.org/donate. We'll come right back next hour. Let's talk Nebraska football and Utah football. Stay here with us, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.